Hello, soul sister. Welcome to another episode of Midlife Love Out Loud. I have Amara Pagano in the house. Hey, sister.
Hello, so happy
Oh,
to be here.
so happy to have you here. We're going to be talking about embodiment today and awakening and connecting, and a topic that I don't think we've really explored. And if we have, we've only scratched the surface, and you are the go-to. So in addition to having such a wealth of information, I'll tell you about her in a moment, I just want to say that I'm pretty new to knowing Amara's work, maybe a year or two in. And when I first met her, instantly, I'm like, holy friggin' shit. And you can curse, by the way, but I said, holy friggin' shit. I was like, this woman not only is like walking her talk, she truly is just the most beautiful, amazing, powerful woman doing spectacular work on the planet. So had to have you here. I'm so happy to have this time with you. So let me tell you about this dear sister of mine. Amara is also the co-founder of the global conscious movement community, OneDanceTribe, and that produces events with teachers and presenters of different modalities for the purpose of creating a unified and collaborative field to support personal and collective evolution. OneDanceTribe and Azul produced the first online conscious dance conference in 2019 and Embodied Movement Conference in 2022, gathering stellar, holy shit, totally true, stellar presenters and thousands of people from all over the world. It was an amazing event. Oh my God. As a leader in the world of conscious movement, Amara is forging a path for its continued evolution. And through her work with Azul, she's elevating the psycho-spiritual aspect of conscious movement and defining the work we do on the dance floor as a path of embodied awakening. Yeah, baby.
It's so beautiful, Junie.
Oh, thank you, honey. Quite the mirror there. Quite the mirror. All right, let's just like dive right in. What is embodied awakening? What is embodiment? What is this? So let's just like go right there.
That's a big question and a beautiful entry. Let's take one layer of the question and then we'll see what other pieces emerge. Embodied awakening, it basically captures for me two really important aspects of kind of what's happening to us as people on this planet, as women on this planet right now. And that is the the need that I feel. Maybe you feel it too. I imagine that, I know you do, Junie, and I imagine all the women listening to this are kind of feeling this because your lives are being rocked and shooken up, and we're being asked to grow. We're being asked to awaken. And that's not always an easy process. Like we come up against all sorts of things inside of us as that happens. And that dial on our planet is louder right now. We're on that point where, we really need to rise, like in a very basic way. We're at a point on the planet where our technology is far ahead of our spirituality,
So true.
and it's causing problems, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Such a
we're
disconnect.
exactly such a disconnect, precisely. And it's that disconnect that is tended to from the process of embodied awakening, because
Mm,
it's that disconnect that we experience in our bodies. We live mostly like cut off in our heads, so we've lost the resource of the body,
yeah.
right? And it makes it harder to trust ourselves. It makes it harder to trust life. We don't
Mm.
feel connected to our own like inner radar, and so we, go on bad dates, or we don't, we don't, know how to kind of find our way through. And embodiment is one way that we reconnect.
Mm.
Okay, it's reconnecting on a very basic level our thinking to the rest of the body. It's coming back into that body mind, which is so much more powerful and intelligent than just our thinking. So,
Wow. Let's take a breath into that. that this powerhouse of information is something that we're not tapping into or connected to. And we're running so much energy in our heads, which totally affects how we show up to our dates, our partners, our kids, everything, and especially to
exactly.
ourselves.
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
our modern world, like we're just
Yeah.
trained to think our way through everything. And we've lost touch with the body's capacity to support us to feel our way through. So I know it's one of the things that you are supporting women with in the work that you do to come back to themselves, to come back to trusting themselves. And it's also the work that I'm doing through the movement with the body, a little more directly using the body as the vehicle to bring us back into that state of connection.
Mm,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. I feel like Meg Ryan that was Harry when Harry met Sally. Yeah, oh, what she's having. So true. And here we are, as you said, at this time, craziness, extremes, and this call. I keep getting goosebumps as we're talking. This call to wake up and to do something different or be something different, to
Absolutely.
show up in an energy that can support and ground and all the things that happen when we're really tuned in. And you do this through movements.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So can you talk to us a little bit about connect the dots, movement and embodied awakening?
Yes. So, I've discovered in my journey that movement is a really powerful um, connector point. Like it's like the movement becomes the reflective surface that we can feel ourselves through. And it works very directly. It's like it's one of the fastest, most direct paths to truth because it is below the mind. You are
Mm,
your your mind is there. Our minds are beautiful things. They're not bad at all. It's just when we're caught in only one channel, it's limiting. And it's like
right.
we want to open all the channels. Okay. So when we're engaged in the process of moving our bodies and listening through the movement, the information that that gives us, the way that we begin to perceive ourselves and feel ourselves is very direct. Okay. We're making contact with ourselves kind of below the surface. And there's something that happens in that space. Um, we, like we have a felt sense of ourselves. Even our breathing, our breath is like one way that we know self, right? And when we're combining like movement and breath, it's like we're getting all of it together. And it's a bit of a mystery to me. I still don't know the science of it.
yeah,
Science has not been able to
they,
explain to me
yeah,
yet.
they haven't caught up yet.
They haven't caught up yet. They will, I'm sure, because that's the
yeah,
time that we're living in now,
yeah,
where we're being confirmed and validated by science,
yeah,
what
yeah.
we intuitively know. And so I know that it will happen at some point, but there's a mystery. There's a magic that happens in the dance through the movement that is is it happens. I mean, it happens. It never doesn't not happen. Is the only way to say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so I've spent my life, dedicated to
Mm,
exploring that and to helping people to find that, for helping people to be the dancer that they are. In my world, everybody is a mover. Everybody is a dancer. When we have a body, we have the gift of experiencing life through the body. One of the things that also happens, I find, with the movement in particular, is that it wakes up our life force in a way because it's through movement, because you're moving the energy. It's waking up our life force. It's waking up something inside of us that feels really good because energy wants to flow. Energy in its free state is like this spontaneous, ever changing, ever moving entity. Think about it. Life, all life is in movement. All life.
mm,
Okay. So when we align with that, it's like we're aligning with the essence of life.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. As you're speaking, and I'm just like, oh, so happy you're here. I think about so many women that are starting over in the second half of life, and they're wanting to partner up, and they're wanting to open up, and the bag of shadows that I help them unpack so that they can relax and show up fully for those dates, but fully inside of themselves. What I'm hearing, and this is such a huge piece, is when we can free up that energy, because so much is above the neck, right? So much is above the neck, and I help them empty it out so they can get into the body in my way. And what I'm hearing is this is a practice
Yes.
that can open people up to tap into this flow. And if they tap into this flow, they're not only going to be more relaxed and awakened, but boom, baby, you go on a date, you're going to be shining a very different light.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's kind of what we have this event coming up called the Awaken Your Embodied Self, and it's speaking to precisely what you
Mm,
just laid down, Junie, because it's basically working with 5 centers in the body
mm-hmm.
that when they awaken, when they're activated, they create that flow of energy through our bodies. So um, it's and it is a practice. It's like it's something that we have these 10-minute meditations that people can do every day, and there's the work that I do is oriented through a practice. It gives you that place to anchor back into and touch into so that you can reconnect to it faster and easier, and it can support your process.
Oh, so good. Yeah, we'll let you guys know about the event in a little bit, and it'll be in the show notes as well. You just brought back a memory for me. I remember, gosh, I was in my 20s, and Gabrielle Roth, Five Rhythms, was doing an experience, some kind of event in New York City. It's a type of movement modality.
I've taught 5 rhythms for 20 years, love.
Oh my God, oh my God.
I
Then
know.
you know a little bit about it, huh?
Yeah, I know quite
And
a
I
bit.
remember going to this event, and I had been running so much in my head, of course, and not knowing anything about embodiment. And she brought us into all these different experiences. And at the end of it, not only was I so deeply connected to my heart and feeling so connected to the people around me and the universe, I also noticed that my hip pain that I'd had for so long was just gone. And that brought me to the, movement, energy, flow. It affects everything, body, mind, and spirit. And if we don't have that flow, it's going to affect our relationships. And again, connecting to this magnificent stage of life with all those pieces. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be continuing this dialogue. So there's five. Oh, were you going to say something? So 5 keys to awaken your embodied self. Let's unlock some of those. Give us some keys.
So, I mentioned earlier that there are 5 wisdom centers in the body. You know, one of the things that's important for me and to help with the term embodiment, right? So let's just take one step back and then we'll go forward, okay?
Yeah.
So embodiment for me, Junie spoke to this in her description of being in that dance class with Gabrielle. Gabrielle was a deep mentor of mine, and I taught her work for 20 years before stepping into Azul, before stepping into that moment in my own life, which is, I think, one that all of us can relate to, where life was saying something different was needed, and um, having to rise to that moment, right? Having to have the courage to say yes to what it is that life is asking of you. So I did that and birthed Azul and took the work to another step. And one of the main pieces that was added into the work for me at that point was attending to the shadow, okay, that Junie spoke of before. It's really important in our lives that we tend to the shadows. So I'm really grateful, Junie, for the work that you do with
Thank you.
women to
Thank you.
support them in that process. And a lot of that material that we're processing is stored in the body. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So the body is a way to get access to that and to process that and to clear it from the system of the body. Okay. So when we work with these 5 centers in the body, we are tending on many levels and we are clearing out pieces, residues, stuck energy that is caught in our system. Okay. And as we practice this and as we, you know, um, build those connections to our body and to these wisdom centers, that is supported kind of over and over and over again. Okay.
Mm.
So I break it down. You know, the whole body is an incredible source of intelligence, all of it. You know, we tend to work with 7 chakras, right? Okay, in the body. In Azul, we add 3 more.
Hey,
Uh,
why not?
why not? So that they can be embodied, so that the wisdom
So
centers
good.
can be embodied. All right.
Hmm.
So we add an 8th that connects the body to the source above. You know,
Mm.
that the you know that see the body is actually this channel that you can imagine connects us to the source below, okay, and to the source above, and to the source within you. Okay, so we have these 10 and then we break it down to 5. It's like I have to name 9 and 10. Hands and feet, these are crucial for our embodiment. Okay, so so we have a 10 full system and a half system of 5. Okay, so these 5 are the most potent ones in the body,
Wow. Okay.
right? And you can imagine, you can almost feel yourself for a second in a star position. Like you can imagine, like feel yourself just here.
Yeah, put your arms out, sister.
Put
If
your
you're not
arms out. Yeah,
watching
there you
on
go.
YouTube, put your
Or
arms out,
driving a
spread it
car.
out. Yes, yes, yes. Pull over, pull over.
Exactly. So feel your hands
Yeah.
and your feet
Mm.
and your belly and your heart and your head. And for a moment, register your whole system. Feel all five of those. Okay.
Mm.
Take a deep breath in. Allow your arms to fall down. Okay. So these centers are super potent. So in the dance, we're going into each one, bringing our attention to them, connecting to them, and working with each one's intelligence. The feet are a major part. We spend so much time in our heads. There's a million miles between your head and your feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So imagine if your consciousness could anchor down into your feet, the grounding, the sense of belonging, the sense of safety that you can have. Okay. Because you are connected to the earth below. Okay? You are connected to who you are here and to your sense of being a part of something much greater,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Feet. Okay. Your belly. Your belly is this, it is a brain, right? Science is now telling us that it is our brain. It's our first brain. It's where we receive, literally, science is also telling us, 7 trillion bits of information in at all times. Where are they entering in your body? Where is that information entering? Into your belly. And most of our centers, most of our belly center is a bit congested.
Yeah.
We hold a lot because this is the center that helps us to process feeling. It has the consciousness, I am feeling.
Yeah.
I can feel, I can digest, I can assimilate. Okay. It's where your gut instinct is. It's where your those first intuitions come from. Okay. So tending to that center and being able to kind of open and clear it, you can just imagine what is possible when it's open and available. Okay. Our heart. Okay. Another super potent center of the body.
Mm. Hmm.
Okay. Do you know that you have heart intelligence in every cell in your body?
I
Every.
do, but
Yeah.
it was such a like a boom, mind blown moment when I was like, wow, yeah, tell us more.
Exactly. And so this center, the heart is one of the primary connector points, okay, between our physical body and our spiritual body. Okay. So when we are able to inhabit and to bring online this part of our body, it informs every movement that we're making,
Mm.
and it allows that spiritual guidance, that part of us to be embodied, to be experienced here. Okay, back to that term embodied awakening just for a second. Like it's through primarily through this center. Okay, embodied awakening happens
Mm.
through this center. So there is a physicality of when we are moving our bodies and we're bringing our attention to our movement and we're listening through our movement and we're tuning into the heart, something begins to happen. Something begins to wake up through that. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Really quickly, the last two so that you feel your head.
I'm having like a brain fart moment.
Okay, go.
So
You
we got the
go.
heart, we got the belly. Was the first one the feet?
Yes. Feet,
Okay.
feet, belly, heart.
Okay.
Let's rise all the way. So now we're going to hit the head last. Okay. The head is super important. Okay. But its primary task is to be connected to the rest. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So this is we focus on connecting the head into the rest of the body, allowing it to be connected. It is much happier when it is. I can tell.
Right. Versus doing all the work disconnected. Got to figure it
Yeah.
all out. Let me look at all my red flags.
Exactly. Exactly. The
Mm,
head, and the very last one is the hands, because our
mm.
so much, so much beauty and so much connection happens through these hands to ourselves, to each other. So they have a world that opens through them.
Ah,
Yes.
so beautiful. Your work is precious. It is so needed. It is so not talked about. It has not really come to the surface of the mainstream, in my opinion, like 20, 30 years ago when yoga came out and my mother was like, oh no, what are you doing? You know, like you're going to end up in a cult. And now, of course, it's on every block. And I'm so thrilled that you're bringing this work to the forefront of everything, because we need to have that connection and to rise up, as you said. And you have this event coming up. I would love to give you an opportunity to share about this event so everybody can participate.
Okay, great. So this event is Awaken Your Embodied Self. It will happen October 5th through the 9th. It's
This
the
is
very
2022, but don't
exactly.
worry, if you miss it, it will come again.
It is true. It is true, because our intention is to do it twice a year, every year. And this is the very first one we're doing, though. So it's kind of special for me.
Ooh, yeah.
The first time. And to
Oh,
put this content together and to take the 30 years of my own experience and distill it and open this world of movement for
mm,
people that are curious by what they're hearing and wanting to kind of move towards it. It's going to be a really um, simple and, an hour a day for 5 days to explore these 5 keys, to explore these 5 wisdom centers, to have the experience of restoring that energy flow in our system, and therefore our experience of pleasure. I mean, it's
mm,
really it's that basic, and it's our birthright. To be connected to ourselves, to know ourselves is our birthright. And it's what is awakening right now. This
yeah.
is what's awakening. Okay. So I invite you to come and participate with me and play with me and see if it's the right thing for you. You'll know. You will
Yep.
know. You'll do this and you'll feel whether you lean in or whether leaning in. Let's just go with leaning
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. Lean in, give.
I want you to get this. I
Yeah,
want you to be able to have an experience of your own embodiment.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
So
it happens very quickly and it deepens over time. Okay. But it happens right off the bat.
absolutely. I 100% agree. And I think it's also um, an opportunity to see what you're bumping up against with your head as well. Because sometimes we lean in and we get accept something new, like movement, like embodiment, like awareness. And suddenly you're like, oh, wait, I can't quiet my mind. And you can dive deeper into the body and connect more. I know I just went out to another whole topic, but that was just something that came to me because I know that's where the practice comes in, and to have this deep dive with you, to be able to experience this and to notice these things bubbling up and to then take it out into the world. It's a precious offering. So I'm thrilled you're doing this. We will put the link in the notes so you can sign up, sister. And Amara, thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdom. So beautiful, so precious, so important.
Thank you, Junie. It was my honor.
Mm. All right, soul sister, that is our episode for today. You know the drill. If you know a sister that is in need of this message and you got some value from this, please share it. Spread the word. That's how this podcast is reaching more people and we all get to rise together. And if you haven't liked or subscribed to either the Apple Podcast or the YouTube station, there's so many wonderful golden nuggets coming your way. You don't want to miss a thing. And until we meet again, mwah!